Peace and blessings. I hope you guys are doing well. All praises to the Most High. All praises to our Melech King Yahushua Mashiach, for without him, where would we be? I know it's been some time since I posted up a video. I just kind of been going through a lot of stuff. Like I said, I'm up against heavy spiritual wickedness in high places. So, yeah. But I did want to update you guys and let you guys know that I am still alive and breathing, and I am still in a fight. I have not rolled over and died yet. That's for, the people obviously waiting for me to drop dead. Um, right now where the Most High has me, doing, whatever it is that he wants me to do. I have to say it like that because, it's not a secret or anything like that, but here I'm closing up portals and I'm praying, you know what I mean? So that's just really what it is, and it doesn't matter where I go to, you know, um, this stuff follows us, as we know. These people are still doing the same things. Like you should have saw, because I'm on the East Coast right now, okay? Before I get into what I've been experiencing, I've only been here for 2 nights. I'm at the Travel Lodge, okay, in room 222. Now, these people have had time to prepare this room. You understand what I'm saying? And let me just tell you before I go into that, let me just say what I experienced on my way here. So, I go to the airport, and my flight was early. So I already knew that they were going to start putting things in motion, in terms of the food. Because, the thing is that how they do that, considering that it's early, they get shippings of certain products and things like that that they think that I'm gonna go and get and buy, but just basic necessity like water, you know what I mean. um I saw certain markets in the airport that was close to the gates or terminals that I was supposed to either board or I was unboarding. I saw a lot of them moving very briskly, you know to try to put things on the shelves and stuff like that. And here's the thing, all they always, I told y'all, they always do this around this time. Every year, they always do this. Ever since 2018, okay? That's when it started, when my targeting first jump started, okay? That's when it started, okay? So every year, they have to reinforce that, right? Or have to try to stage something to try to get me set up, right? And murdered. Because that's really what it is, okay? But you got to remember, and I'm not in no way, shape, or form trying to juxtapose my reality to what they had done to our Lord, our Hamashiach, okay? But we already know that they killed him around Passover. So, that is just so funny to me, that they want to try to do that. Great, okay? So, I saw all of that. They tried to come in my face and eat, you know, all that kind of stuff because they want me to go and buy tainted stuff, right? That's really what it is. And I don't fall for that. They just already know they have, like, you working with a mind that is just too strong. Like, I've been going through this for too long. And I give all thanks and praises to the Most High, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, period. So that's that. The flight was cool. It wasn't a problem. I had a layover. Then I had to get on a connecting flight. Came here, made it to the East Coast. Now, let me get into the whole West Coast, East Coast type of demonic territorial things that's going on, right? So I already knew walking into that. All right. So I knew that these demons was going to be pissed off. I already knew that they were only going to get wind because a lot of people already know who the fuck I am. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make it seem like as if I'm well known, but you know what? I'm known, unfortunately, by way, non consensually. Let me just say that I'm known, unfortunately, non consensually. Okay. Because I'm not trying to be known. I'm just a regular person, to be quite honest. So, I knew that these demons were going to be territorial. I knew there was going to be, a lot more brutish. You understand? Especially for somebody like me who's leaving, a coastal area to come to now the opposite coastal area. All right. So these demons are very territorial. That's the reason why on the West Coast where I was, they were trying earnestly, you understand what I'm saying, to make sure that I do not leave. Because in some respect they feel like, oh well, that's their kill, you understand, so they don't want to give it to, anyone else. So then once I make it over here, they're dishing the same thing. They're like, oh, okay, well, it's our kill. You understand what I'm saying? He's in the palm of our hands, right? Satan wants to sift me like wheat, okay? You know what I mean? So I make it to this hotel. I've only been here for 2 nights, right? And I got to tell you, I already knew. Um, because they had more than enough time. I mean, I'm talking about more than enough time to prepare this room for me, and of course the level of torture that I'm going to experience while I'm here. So I want to tell you something. They took the insulation out of, let me sit up. They took insulation out of this room. Okay, it's very fucking hollow. It sounds very hollow. So you can hear people out in the hallways when they slam their doors, or you can hear the housekeepers going back and forth, people walking back and forth in and out of their rooms. You can hear that. And not only that, but you can actually hear the conversations that's happening outside, downstairs, okay? Outside my window serendipitously, right? You can actually hear the conversations that's going on, and they're talking loud and abrupt. Of course, a lot of the conversations are being overtly, you know, about me. So we already know what it is. Nobody cares about none of that. Like, come on now, that's kiddie play. But what's so interesting is the fact that I went around this whole room when I first got in, and I swept it. You know what I mean? Just to see, what it was. That was to make sure there was nothing planted or whatever the case may be. And certain little things, uh, nicks and croonies, you know what I mean, was out of place. Like picture frames were slanted, and that was just really weird. And TVs were slanted, that type of thing. So I took pictures of all that stuff because I don't want these people to try to make it seem like as if I came here and I destroyed their property. I just want it to be known that your property, if it is destroyed, has already been destroyed, because I haven't even done anything. You understand what I'm saying? So I went into the bathroom, you know what I mean? There's this little stuff, here and there, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not one of those type of people. You got a regular dude. I'm an adapter. I've stayed in worse hotels than this, and I've stayed in better hotels than this. You know what I mean? So you don't have one of those guys here. Okay. I adapt. You know what I mean? And you get what you pay for. So I looked around, and especially in the corners, that's what struck out to me the most. It seemed like the barriers, the liners at the ends of the corners were cut off. You understand? And in the corners specifically, there's been wall chipping. You know, and I can tell like they have taken out insulation and then tried to gloss it right back up. So you can hear conversations. So I can only imagine. Well, it's not imagining. I know for certain that these people can hear me, and it's interesting because now those conversations, those babblings, outside, then stopped since I made this video. So they probably already then came back in, or if they haven't, they probably left, and went back to their rooms to do their thing. I've already peeped who's centered around me. That's what they need to understand. So I already know your faces and everything. All I'm waiting to do is get your ass on camera when it's time for me to come on up out of this room and go out. You understand what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So there's a lot of little things, but this is what's so strange. Okay, it almost smelled like, for the past two nights that I've been here, like somebody was burning metal. Okay, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, that's not weed, because that's all they do is smoke weed. Okay, I was told that this was a non-smoking zone in this area, but of course, these people do what they want to do, and then when you have hotels who allow for people to stay in here, clearly there's no 30-day equal opportunity type of thing, because all they give a damn about is money. So they'll allow that, and it didn't smell like weed. It smelled like something else, so I can't put my finger on it. But the spirit told me that those were drugs. Like real hardcore drugs that they were smoking. And it's interesting because considering that this room is hollowed out, they taken out the insulation. You have a person smoking on the left side room of me, and you have a person smoking it on the right side room of me. So I'm being boxed in with that damn smoke. You understand what I'm saying? And I have to put the covers over me or open up a window, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to smell that crap. You know what I mean? And I understand the reason why these people are doing it. They're doing the drugs, they smoke their weed, they do all those things because the truth is that they can't get into your body. That's the only way that they're going to get close to affect you. Okay? And last night, okay, in the middle of the night, because I woke up, I'm in a different time zone, but that doesn't change my sleeping patterns. Usually it takes me some time, especially if I'm trying to go to sleep in you know, uh, a newly found place that I'm trying to lay my body and get rest. And my body's always, it does that. So it didn't take any time, because I was already tired from the jet lag. So I went ahead and went right to sleep the first night. The second night, of course, last night I didn't have a problem, but I woke up in the middle of the night. Okay, and the Most High woke me up and he told me to start praying immediately. So I started praying. Well, I was really praying all day yesterday, but in the middle of the night, he told me to wake up, start walking around, and start praying. And that's exactly what I started doing. And it's like immediately after I stopped doing that, that's when I started smelling the smoke and stuff. Like, okay, here we go with this. These demons are mad. But then I want to tell you something. When I went back to sleep, there was a moment, where, of course, the scientific term for this is sleep paralysis. Now, anywhere that the Most High has uh, told me to go to, usually when it's been in the motels and not in my camper, well, my tent, um I haven't had any type of like spiritual attacks. You understand what I'm saying? But I would say this time though around, this is the very first time that I felt, they call it sleep paralysis, but all it is a demonic attack. It's them sending demons, right? That's the reason why, of course, they have to smoke, they have to keep, you know engaging in that type of ritualistic dark, you know type of crap that they do. So I felt this grab on my right wrist, okay, and then I felt this grab on my left leg and my left arm, okay. I felt that as well. And of course, anyone who's experienced it, you know how it is. It's like it only happens for a split second sometimes, because if you're a person who is a spiritual warrior, you already know what to do. You already know what to profess to make it stop. And oh, it's another name. They say the demon riding your back, that type of thing. See, now back in the day when I didn't, have any, I wasn't well equipped with how to combat that. It did feel like that. Like I was being pressed upon, couldn't breathe and stuff like that. To me, it necessarily wasn't like that. I could still breathe and I can still talk. Um, it's just that my arm was being like grabbed forcefully, held down almost. And, you know, I said what I said in the holy tongue and it broke immediately. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, here we go. But when you're not a person who's fearful of this mess, you're expecting it. You know what I mean? It's very, very minuscule, in terms of what these people could do to you, what they're praying for you to happen. They're mad because I'm not eating any of their junk, and they do have breakfast downstairs, that of which I know that the perps that they've allowed, to make reservations here, and some of them are living in here. And it's interesting because I'm like, I peeped these two mothers, across the hall from me. They're operating two rooms. I don't know if they're sisters or relatives or whatever, but they do have children with them. I think it's very, very disheartening to know that you have women who's putting their children in the midst of this mess. You got people smoking, doing drugs, and all that type of stuff. I know this ain't nothing new, but what I'm saying is that the fact that you would risk your children's life and safety for a measly old piece of change, that's what's so mind-boggling to me. That is mind-boggling to me. Okay, and then of course with the insulation and stuff, you hear the noises coming through the walls and stuff. It's easy to puncture, you know, me via electromagnetic um, microwave pulse. This is what these people are doing, so that I can, be easily assaulted by these weapons. And I don't mean nothing to me. Of course, they still have the helicopters flying around at certain times and things like that. That doesn't mean anything to me as well. You understand? I'm here for a specific reason. Spiritually, they always get mad because, like I said, demons are territorial. They don't want you closing up portals. You understand where you are. They don't want you praying against any of the things, all of the havoc and stuff that's going on over here. You understand? Or just anywhere you go and sojourn. So that's just really what it is. I'm okay. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. And when it's time for me to go, I'm going to go. You understand what I'm saying? Because my job's going to be done. So that's that. Um, to my people scattered across the four corners of the earth, I say, steadfast, stay prayed up. Um, don't worry about, well, I'm not going to say don't worry about. I'm going to stop saying that. I'm going to just say don't be weary and don't worry. But I'm not going to tell you what not to worry about. That's just what I'll say. But stay in the fight. I mean, we have a lot of things that's coming to this wicked nation, that of which, the Most High has his people scattered, across this earth. But, this was coming to America KKK, I don't think anybody is ready for. You understand? I don't think anybody can prepare their hearts for it. You have a lot of people who are prepared for it, but they really are not prepared for the spiritual aspect of things that are about to be made literal. Okay? That are about to be made literal. I say to the perps, all of our perps, I say to all of our enemies in neural monitoring, okay, we are non-consensual experimental survivors, not victims, because victims are dead. We are survivors, okay? End Freemasonry, end totalitarianism. They need to end, you understand what I'm saying, this covert harassment, end terrorism. This is genocide against humanity, crimes against humanity. You understand what I'm saying? Doesn't matter what color you are. You understand what I'm saying? Because we are all suffering in this. Y'all need to stop, and you will stop. Shalom.